Human beings rarely conceal themselves as effectively as they believe. While words can be selected carefully and expressions can be rehearsed, behavior unfolds in micro movements that are far more difficult to control. Every gesture, posture shift, breathing pattern, and timing response forms part of the psychological signature. The body does not simply accompany intention, it reveals it. When individuals pursue goals, whether persuasion, protection, attraction, or dominance, their behavior adapts accordingly. In this adaptation, fragments of internal truth leak outward. A tightened jaw may signal suppressed disagreement. A delayed response may indicate cognitive strain. A sudden increase in hand movement may reflect emotional activation. Even the smallest adjustments in physical rhythm can provide insight into mental state. Behavior operates as an extension of motivation. When someone desires approval, their body often leans subtly forward. When someone anticipates rejection, shoulders may retract slightly. When someone attempts to conceal information, blink rate can increase, breathing may shallow, and gestures may become more rigid. These are not universal rules, but probabilistic indicators. Psychological understanding requires observing patterns rather than isolated behaviors. One crossed arm does not define defensiveness, but crossed arms combined with narrowed eyes, minimal verbal contribution, and tightened lips suggest withdrawal. Human behavior forms clusters. Clusters reveal intention. Intentions drive decisions. Most people focus on verbal explanation because language feels rational and structured, yet behavior often contradicts speech. A person may say they are fine while their foot taps rapidly. A leader may claim confidence while repeatedly adjusting their clothing. A negotiator may express calm interest while gripping a pen tightly enough to whiten knuckles. These microsignals do not always indicate deception. They indicate internal activity. Internal activity reveals psychological movement. Behavior also exposes preference. The topics that animate someone physically, leaning forward, expanding gestures, increased vocal energy, often reveal genuine interest. The topics that produce reduced eye contact or shortened responses may reveal boredom or discomfort. In social environments, people instinctively orient their torso toward those they feel aligned with. Subtle orientation patterns reveal alliance structures within groups. Even seating choices during meetings reflect perceived hierarchy and comfort levels. Humans evolved in environments where reading behavior ensured survival. Rapid detection of threat or cooperation allowed for adaptation. This ancient neural architecture remains active today. Our brains continuously scan for nonverbal cues to determine safety, trustworthiness, and status. Because of this, behavioral inconsistencies are detected intuitively. When actions and words misalign, observers feel unease even if they cannot articulate why. That unease emerges from subconscious pattern recognition. Understanding behavior, therefore, requires disciplined observation and emotional neutrality. If one projects personal bias onto another's movements, interpretation becomes distorted. A thoughtful pause might be misread as dishonesty. A relaxed posture might be misread as indifference. Accurate reading demands patience and contextual awareness. Behavior unfolds in narrative form. It changes over time. It responds to environment. It adapts to social pressure. To truly understand someone's psychology, one must observe how their behavior shifts across settings. Do they become quieter around authority figures? Do they display expansive gestures among peers? Do they maintain eye contact consistently or selectively? Consistency and variation both carry meaning. If behavior reveals inner movement, the next step is interpretation with restraint. It is tempting to assign definitive meaning to every gesture, but human psychology is fluid. Anxiety may resemble deception. Enthusiasm may resemble aggression. Cultural background shapes expression significantly. In some cultures, expressive gestures signal engagement. In others, restraint signals respect. Therefore, insight arises not from rigid decoding, but from adaptive observation. One effective method of understanding behavior is baseline comparison. Establish how a person behaves in neutral circumstances. Notice their natural speech rhythm, average eye contact, default posture. Only then can deviations be interpreted meaningfully. When baseline shifts occur under specific topics or pressures, psychological significance increases. For example, if a normally composed individual suddenly increases blink rate during a financial discussion, this shift suggests emotional activation tied to that subject. The meaning may involve stress, secrecy, or vulnerability. The exact conclusion requires further context, but the signal itself is informative. Behavioral congruence strengthens credibility. When speech aligns naturally with gesture, trust increases. When behavior contradicts verbal narrative, suspicion emerges automatically. This is because humans rely more heavily on visual and tonal information than on linguistic content when evaluating sincerity. Microexpressions, brief flashes of emotion lasting fractions of a second, can reveal suppressed reactions before conscious control resumes. A fleeting tightening around the eyes may expose irritation. A micro smile may reveal concealed satisfaction. These expressions often pass unnoticed consciously, but are registered subconsciously. Beyond detection of inconsistency, behavior also reveals power dynamics. In hierarchical structures, those with higher status typically occupy more physical space, interrupt more frequently, and maintain steadier gaze. Those perceiving themselves as lower status may reduce physical expansion and avoid direct eye contact. Observing these dynamics allows prediction of influence patterns within groups. Furthermore, behavior during stress is particularly revealing. Under pressure, individuals revert to habitual coping strategies. Some become verbally dominant. Others withdraw physically. Some attempt humor to deflect tension. These patterns reveal personality architecture more clearly than calm environments do. The ultimate purpose of reading behavior is not manipulation, but clarity. When you understand the psychological movement behind action, you respond more strategically and empathetically. You avoid misinterpretation. You anticipate resistance. You recognize genuine enthusiasm. You identify concealed discomfort before it escalates. In leadership, this awareness prevents blind spots. In negotiation, it reveals leverage. In personal relationships, it deepens understanding. Behavior speaks continuously. Even in silence, posture communicates. Even in stillness, breathing reveals state. While language can be curated, behavior unfolds in real time. Those who cultivate attentive observation gain access to a deeper layer of human interaction. Over time, this awareness refines intuition into informed perception. Instead of guessing motives, you detect patterns. Instead of reacting impulsively, you adjust deliberately, and in that adjustment lies psychological advantage.